Hey guys, welcome to the shop. So let me do a walk around of the Jeep, tell you what I've been working on, and then we'll talk about steps forward. So I went ahead and repaired this damage on this back corner. So that's ready to put in epoxy. And then there was some rust right in this area somewhere that I repaired. And then while I'm here, I've restored my pedals, replaced the bushings, both the clutch and the brake, and cleaned everything up. I've gone ahead and fitted my air conditioning unit, and I'm working on the dash. I've got some areas where I need to fill some holes and clean that up and get it in epoxy as well. Then I have restored my brake booster and master cylinder, installed the clutch master cylinder. I just had the wiring kit on there just to make sure it's not going to get in the way of that clutch master cylinder. So right here at this bulkhead, I repaired a hole. It was kind of diagonal here, the two heater holes there, so I sealed one of them up, re-drilled the others for that bulkhead, cleaned up the battery tray, cleaned up the cowl vent, painted it. It's good to go. Yeah, so there's the where the bulkhead comes through for the air conditioning and heater. It's a little tight right here, but I think I'll be able to loop it around to make that. I wanted the controls there for the air conditioner. Let me move to the back and I'll show you. I wanted the controls for the air conditioner to be centered in that gauge there, the speedometer. So that's as good as I could get it. On this side, I repaired some rust right here in this area. I think that's about all from that standpoint. I went around the entire Jeep, and anywhere there's a seam, I dug out the seam sealer and took a syringe and pushed 415 down into the seam. I'll come back and clean that up and put seam sealer on top of it before I put the epoxy primer on it. Here in the back, I've fitted my tailgate. Here, give me 1 second. I'm gonna close this tailgate. Give me 1 sec. Okay, so what I needed, let me get you turned back around here. Okay, so what I needed was to be able to get this bracket in here, because the soft top wedges underneath this here at the tailgate. So I come up with some 1x1 square stock there, and bolted that up. And I think once the soft top is wedged under here, there's a flap that'll come over this. I may put some snaps on there for that, or I may just let it dangle. Just depends on what the rain does. I don't want rain getting in between the two there. But because of that, I needed to be able to open and close the tailgate from the outside. So what I've come up with, oops, are these two handles, and it's got a lock there Oops. I'm sorry, my camera work's not very good today, or most days. But I made that bracket there, so that'll clamp over the edge of it. And I'll open it for you. There we go. So what I did is I come up with these leather straps and these screw together rivets to give it some relief there. It's a little high here on the lip right now, but I think as that leather stretches a little bit, it'll flatten out a little more. If it doesn't, I'm fine with that. I'm not going to be opening it a whole lot anyway. But yeah, there's those brackets I had to make there, and just bolted those in. Cool. So next step is I've got to get it in epoxy primer, and then once I've got it into epoxy primer, I want to go ahead and put the Raptor liner on the inside. So that'll be what I'm working on next. So stay with me, and I probably won't have you just watching me sand on it. I've got some areas here. I repaired this rusted area there, but I've got to clean the rest of that old off of there, and got some seam sealing to do. Anyway, let me work on that, and then I'll bring you back to show you where we're at before we start spraying. All right, guys. So I got everything cleaned up on the inside, went through and blasted around those Jeep lettering and anywhere else that was hard to sand. I've gone through and flipped it over, and I've got the undercarriage ready to prime. So I think what I'll do, let me show you what I did here. I seam seal, this is the only place that I seam sealed, is right here inside the fender on both sides. Here as well. And this is what I used. It's this 3M seam sealer. Worked pretty well. I didn't have any issues with it. It says that you can paint over it in 30 minutes, and it's been about an hour. Also went into all these rails here and those 4 there as well, and sprayed the Eastwood internal frame coating up inside there. So hopefully that'll help. But anyway, I've cleaned it with wax and grease remover several times. I've blown it off. I think I'm ready to put it in primer, and then it says to wait about an hour and we can put the Raptor liner on it. So let me I'm gonna set you guys up here. I'm not gonna be able to move that camera. I'll be too focused on painting, so I'll at least let you watch. Let me go in the shop and I'll show you what we're going to be using. All right, so what I've got is Summit's epoxy primer, and it mixes 1-to-1 with a catalyst. And then I'm going to use this old Harbor Freight gun that I've had for a while. I'll sacrifice it for a primer gun. And then I'm set up with PPE there, so we should be good. I am going to use my 3M cups, so cleanup's a little easier. I've got some paint thinner here and my cleanup station ready to go once we're done with that. We'll have about an hour from the time we finish spraying the epoxy until we put the Raptor on there. That's the non-tintable, it's just gonna be black. But I'll take this epoxy primer. I've got a mixer back there, if you guys can see that. So I'll get it shaken up real well. And then I'll get this mixed up and I'll meet you back outside. We'll get this thing sprayed. right, there's the first coat. It doesn't look too bad. Need to get right in that area right there. We'll wait about an hour and we'll put the second coat on. Need to try to see if I can shoot it up in there as well. And back here, looks like I missed an area there. All in all, not too bad. All right, so we'll give it about an hour and we'll come back and put the second coat on. That second coat. I don't have a whole lot of experience, but that went on really well for a beginner. I'm pretty happy with it. So we'll give that about an hour and then we'll start putting the Raptor liner on there. See how well that goes. Hopefully it goes as well as the epoxy. All right, let's give it an hour. right, guys. Well, that took all day, but there it is. It's done. We can check that off the list. Looks pretty good. I'm happy with the way that turned out. So it takes 5 to 7 days for this to cure. So I guess I'll just park it here for a week, and then I'll get some guys over here to help me flip it over, and I'll start prepping the inside for doing the same thing. You start earlier in the day, though, I'll tell you that. All right. Well, that'll be next time. Thanks for coming by the shop. God bless you. And we'll see you next time.